Good morning, Steve. We've got some whistling wind out there. Think you could jump up and down and run? Well, that's good enough. Just not the same without T-Rex. Day 2 of him being on vacation on Cape Cod. Rex gets a personal day, and we get a day off from the clouds and the showers in southern New England today. At least this morning we do, with mostly blue sky and blue water, reflection of the sky. 41 degrees. Its thermometer seems like it's been stuck there forever. Although we did get to 47 yesterday with some raindrops, not snowflakes, but it's still snowing in northern New England, or the webcam at Jay Peak. All the webcams are getting covered with icicles. And I think I saw a glimpse of the sun there at Jay Peak this morning, where our friend Sean Vecchione stepped out on his fresh, what he called 13 inches of snow. Is that right, Vec?
Calling 13.5
last night?
Over last
since
night.
the sun went down? So yeah, we got our 2 feet of snow at Jay Peak. Opening day, still 8 days away. And we've got Max doing a snow sample for us over at Mount Mansfield. What do you say, Max? Max is a man of few words. He says it's deep. And it's got good layers, too. I mean, this is an incredible base because it snowed on snow on snow on snow with a couple of wet layers in there, including yesterday. So we have a real dense 22 inches of snow at the Snow Stake on Mount Mansfield. There's only about 1 other year or 2 other years that had much more than that. 1990, but it all disappeared. But we're looking at historic years like 1976 and 1968. I mean, we are in rare territory with the snowpack in northern Vermont. And it wasn't just northern Vermont. How about Mount Washington checking in with 10 inches of real dense snow over the last 24 hours? More than 1.4 inches of H2O in that dense snow and sleet. Wow, wow, wow. So Killington and Sunday River are both open. And here in southern New England, we get a break from the clouds today. Surface map this morning. A high pressure system mostly in the east. We still have several isobars with a storm strengthening well to our east, and the Greenland block continues. That's why it's so windy and my fingers are freezing right now. And then you have a warm front that stretches from Manitoba to Mississippi. There's much warmer air being pushed into the western United States behind that warm front, with these powerhouse locomotive systems coming in off the Pacific Ocean. Yesterday it was Northern California. Today it's Southern California. All kinds of watches and warnings for snow and rain and flooding in Los Angeles. That's why TK is not in Los Angeles. I would have gone, but the other members of the party didn't seem that into it. All that western energy is coming east, and trying to time it and place it is going to be very challenging. Break for some last of the foliage over there at Fort Point and some cumulus ocean effect clouds out there. Satellite image this morning shows more clear than clouds in the northeast, but we still have those instability, much lighter snowflakes falling in far northern New England. You get some ripples, some more gravity waves in the atmosphere, really funky sky again today. And the clouds are probably going to fill in a little bit here in Boston. If we go to the national radar, most of the energy now is out west. Fractured systems from near Seattle to Montana. Most of that's fairly warm. And then you've got this other system in the southwest coming through Los Angeles. So when the systems travel across the northern United States into Canada, you get warmer in the United States. And like I said, when they come into the southwest and across the country, that usually promotes colder. And when they're both happening like that at the same time, it promotes confusion. And we're going to see that in the long-range forecast in a few minutes. For the last 2 weeks, we've been talking about the confusing setup for this weekend. So here is the map now for, I'll just show you, Sunday morning. The low-pressure system that's way up at Hudson Bay, Canada, is going to redevelop on a front. We're going to have a triple-point low, it's called, on the Maine coast. And you get some red and purple in there as a wintry mix. Blue is snow in northern Maine, and green is rain will be ending in southern New England after a wet night tomorrow night. It's a very fast-moving system. And we've been watching this now for about 2 weeks. And it does not look as impressive as it did about 10 days ago, but after being sprayed all over the place from traveling north in Canada or south and missing us to the south. This has settled back to where we saw it way back on 7 or 8 days ago on a Wednesday and a Thursday, where the GFS and the Euro both said we were going to have a wintry storm here for what I call Sexy Sunday the 16th. So let's look at it now on the short range guidance using the NAM. And the blue lines are the thickness lines with the 528 across New England. That is just very cold. Temperatures are in the 40s today. The climatological average is more like 52. Instead, we're closer to 42. And then here come the red lines in the southwestern part of the map there in Pennsylvania and New York tomorrow night. There is the wintry mix. The red is the freezing rain. That's rain because it's getting warmer up in the sky, falling into a sub-freezing layer. So there's going to be a freezing rain event in the high country of Vermont and northern New Hampshire, maybe even into the lower elevations. And then it's snow in Maine. That's the blue is snow. In southern New England, the green is rain, and it's done by 12Z. We're going to stop it here at 12Z Sunday morning, Zulu, 12 minus 5, 7 a.m., and we have a 983 low-pressure system on the Maine mid-coast that is very close in a global sense to where the guidance had it about 8 days ago. It's a redeveloping low with an occluded front, northern Maine, reason for that snow in Maine, wind from the east in northern Maine, wind from the west in northern New Hampshire, and then you have the rain offshore, and the freezing rain will have ended by then. And now let's put this back in motion. We'll take that out. Now, in southern New England, it's just going to turn very windy and cold with a few flurries on Sunday afternoon. Very cold and windy. Did I say that twice? Did I say that twice? And then the snow keeps on coming. In Maine, it shuts off a little bit, but we've got the upslope snow, and it's dark blue there on Sunday night and Monday in northern Vermont. That's another, 10 to 15 inches of snow at Jay Peak by the time this sequence ends at on Monday at 1 p.m. That is 18Z Monday. And it is snowing and cold in the mountains, and it's just windy and cold elsewhere with sun and clouds, a lot like the weather we've just had for several days. So this is a new batch of cold. It's not record cold or anything like that. There's no polar vortex, but it certainly is wintry. Here is the snowfall accumulation prediction by that same run, the NAM. Not much happening today, dribs and drabs. And then here it is right at the border in northern Vermont tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow evening. Snow is in Canada for the most part. Then that snow stretches across northern New Hampshire and much of Maine, north of about, where you are, Whitey. Are you still up there in Jackman, Maine? Looks like you could be in for several inches of snow on Sunday if you're still up there. And central Maine, generally about a 3 to 5 inch snowfall. And then it kind of keeps on going, though, on the backside in northern Vermont. That happens a lot. Mount Mansfield and Jay Peak keep on snowing on Monday. And that's why the accumulation, when I'm all done here, the darker purple, they're just northeast of Jay Peak. That's about 13 inches of snow predicted by the NAM. And whenever we see that, we can add a few inches at the tops of our tallest mountains, including Mount Washington and the mountains in much of central and western and northern Maine. What about freezing rain? Ice is some of the worst weather. You never want to drive in the freezing rain, and it's mostly occurring tomorrow night after sunset, and it's going to be done by about Sunday morning. But I wouldn't want to be on the roads first thing Sunday up there in the Northeast Kingdom, because Northeast Kingdom on the east side of the Green Mountains, you get the cold air damming, and this NAM is more bullish than the HRRR we showed yesterday. And that's how the NAM works a lot of times. So you get the darker purples and indicating the possibility of more than 2/10 of an inch of ice accretion, the glaze kind, not sleet. It's not bouncy. It's the glaze. So that glaze is going to firm up the top of our 2-foot snowpack, and then it's going to start snowing on top of that, and it's going to be incredibly midwinter white on the trees. There could be some local power outages because this thing's going to end as snow, so freezing rain will turn back to snow. Well, that's all for Sunday and Monday. We haven't even gotten into next week. It does look quieter for next week, and we had to trash the Euro again this morning. We had to trash the GFS again this morning because both of them try and bring storms across north of us next week. And with the Greenland block, that usually does not happen, and it paid off that we did not pay attention to a couple of those runs in the last week that showed this weekend system missing us so far to the north. Instead, it's coming right over us, and I believe that's what's going to happen here next Friday. So here is the Canadian model. Back to the Canadian. I think it's doing the best job, and you have the system coming across Los Angeles, and you got the system coming into New England. There's so much to watch here, and it deepens through the 980s in New England and Southern California. The low escapes and weakens across the Rockies, and we have very windy, wintry winds here on Monday and Tuesday. High pressure goes to our south again, so usually it warms up pretty good, but there's also a little shortwave on there on Tuesday and Wednesday. There's a little system missing us to the south, at least that's what the guidance is saying, and with the Greenland block, that's the leftover from the Southern California system. And then we're right on the front here as a warmer storm comes across the middle of the nation and comes right into New England with, again, the blue is snow, the red a little bit in there, freezing rain and rain. And now this is next Friday. We called this Sunday Sexy Sunday. Now we're calling next Friday Freaky Friday, the 21st, the day before lift spin at J Peak and Stowe, where obviously I'm kind of focused because that's where I ski. And it shows a 9, not that impressive, what is it, 993 low, and it's right on the Maine coast again. Another one very similar to this weekend, and it's going to have much more juice with it. It's going to have a tropical connection with thunderstorms off to the south, and then you have snow across most of the high country. You can see the green across New Hampshire and Maine at lower elevations, and then you see the spine of the Green Mountains blue. So that's going to be a very heavy, wet rain and elevation snow if the Canadian is right. And the guidance is really all over the place. What is it? 2 days ago I gave it a 40%. Yesterday I gave it a 45%. Today I'm going to say there's a 50% chance that this is how this is going to play out next Friday. So it's a week away, and that would be the kind of storm that causes power outages because it's going to be such a wet snow and so windy. And we'll see if that works out like that. I hope it does not, actually. And then let's put this back in motion, keep that going. On Saturday the 22nd now, it's just windy with some more upslope snow, where a couple days ago it showed a nice high-pressure system and not much going on. That would have been fortunate for us, but that is not in any of the guidance now. It shows that low taking off, and it leaves us with diminishing winds and seasonable weather here. Now, Sunday, the 23rd is the last day. That's day 10. And let's see if I can remember what's going on here on day 10. I think we're kind of seasonable with not much, but there's a parade of systems with another system across the central United States and another one in the southwestern United States. And that is an upper level low in the southwestern United States. And Canada is seasonably cold, but there's no real hard Arctic chill there. I think it's going to build after this, but when you have that upper level low in the southwestern United States, I call that kind of the loaded gun pattern for systems to eject and cross the nation very quickly. And I think it's going to continue the weather at least every 2 or 3 days. We're going to have a threat for some wintry weather, and we're still waiting on a warmer wave. We had a little bit of a warmer wave back over, what was it, last Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we're due a warmer wave, but I don't see it. If anything, I just see little spikes of warmth like in southern New England on Saturday night with warm intrusions into an overall cold pattern. And here is I haven't shown a graphic for Nashua, New Hampshire in a while. So here's the simplified 14-day or even 20-day on the very far right. It's Thanksgiving on the 27th. But you can see after a little spike there, tomorrow night, we're back down in the lower 40s with not much going on here. A lot of clouds and frosty mornings with lows and near freezing and highs in low 40s. That's about 8 to 10 degrees below the climatological average. And then as you get out to next Friday and Saturday, the space of the red shade and the blue shade increases. So the more space you have filled there of the shaded area, those are the ensemble ranges. And when we get to next weekend, it could be in the 40s or 50s. And that's what the ensembles say. And then the solid line is what the operational is. The operational kind of stuck at the lower end of that red shade into early next weekend. So this is mostly a Euro-based graphic, by the way. And it shows a quieter weather week ahead. So quieter, but not with nothing happening. There's always something happening. So exciting. Loving this blue sky. My fingers are freezing. Does not look like we're going to California, although the jury is still kind of out. So it's just me and Steve, and yesterday TK just making too many time lapse. I couldn't stop staring at the sky, so most of yesterday is just watching that very volatile sky, very unstable. And we got Steve playing with a leaf. That's how life should be. Play with a leaf. Yesterday's weather today. Oh, one more thing. Thank you, Glenn, and everybody that's commenting on all their stories about remembering winters. And yes, there is an ice bucket full of rain from since September. This thing's been overflowing for a long time. I don't think we're going to have any ice on this bucket for a while. And Steve continues to chase leaves. All right, here's the and more from yesterday. More. 9:30. Still get those really interesting cloud waves going on. And ocean or Gulf of Weymouth waves. And waves of birds. And Steve was very close to the feeder. Didn't get any birds, did you? Let me see your teeth. Ready to go in? We've got virga again today. That is precipitation coming out of the clouds and evaporating before it hits the ground. And just about 10. Can't get enough of these altocumulus striations. Not sure what else to call them. Just sky waves. What's that noise? What's that smell? I smell diesel. Oh yeah. Wind's picking up. New cold air advection. Are we going to the airport? Still not even sure. Hey, bit of ride. Neat. 10:32. First time I've seen someone on those stairs. Workers, inspectors, not sure who. But more interesting, along with the striations, is this. I've never seen this one before. Tugboat. Neat. Always looking for more new and interesting things. Can't read it. Thanks for coming by and being on Out the Door, Weather and More. There are the bosses down there. Chin clip on Mount Mansfield. The second week in November. There are plenty of times in the middle of the winter we couldn't ride chin clip because it was too rocky or bare. Wow. And over Boston, just a bunch of instability cumulus with some virga. Haven't done a time lapse in like 2 days. And I love the look of this sky. So here comes another time lapse. Put the pedal to the metal. 2:47. Oh, what a amazing sky. Right overhead, cumulus and cirrus. On the horizon, bubbling cumulonimbus. That would be the precipitable cumulus cloud. Doesn't have to be a thunderstorm. As long as it's precipitating, it's nimbus. And the freezing level probably down, I don't know, a couple thousand feet. So there is snow in the sky there over Boston. And then if we pan to the east a little bit towards Everett and almost into Winthrop, that would be a plume of snow coming out of the cloud, probably evaporating or changing to a few raindrops right there, headed into Winthrop. You can see that white coming down out of the sky. Cool. Meanwhile, it just snows and snows and snows in northern Vermont. More and more and more. Editing.
Well, what time is it here? 1:40. Gee, what a surprise. It's been pretty wet here, as you can see. You've lost a lot of snow on the deck. But it is snowing again. Heavy, heavy snowflakes. Still can't see anything past my trees. A little bit over here by traps. Anyways, more snow.
Mitt, do not eat Steve while you're waiting to eat food. For some reason, they both appear at the exact same time. All right, Steve, give Mitt some room here. He's being kind of gnarly. Sorry. Here, have some water. No T-Rex, but we get two cats, and boy, the sky is looking even more interesting now, isn't it? Almost the first flakes for TK. So close. Breaking news here from the Great Gulf of Weymouth looking toward Hull. Looks like it's a cumulonimbus. Snow coming out of the sky, but turning into rain before it hits the ground. And look at that. You know what a rainbow is? It's sunlight that goes in the front of the raindrop, refracts, reflects off the back of the raindrop, bounces back and refracts again coming out of the raindrop, separating the colors. So raindrops below 1,000 feet, snowflakes above 1,000 feet, right over Boston, right this minute, which is about 3:15 p.m. on Thursday, November 13th. More and more and more. Let's try this again. Now it's 47 degrees. 2 days ago it snowed at 40 degrees on Cape Cod, but the boundary layer is just too warm today. We don't have a polar vortex. But we have magnificent cumulus, that little rainbow we just had. And I like the lighting looking off to the east better, so let's just make another time lapse because we can, and that's what we do. Probably get a raindrop or two here within a few minutes, about 3:20 p.m. I think. Oh, it's not virga anymore when the precipitation reaches the ground. And no, we're not going to get snow at 47 degrees. And the Back Bay of Boston has disappeared briefly, obscured by a rain shower going by. Which way to point the camera? Let up at the wind. So high pressure is that way. And let's just watch the cloud go by a little bit more. And back where we saw that rainbow thing a few minutes ago, do maximum wide view of sky. Maybe carry this right through for the end of the video, or the battery might die first. Can't believe the camera didn't fall over. A month later, the ground would be turning white right now, as the water is turning white because of the wind, rain, and spray coming off of the Gulf of Maine here. Wet, pardon the white. Actually, you can almost connect this rain shower. Here's a satellite image. Right clouds, another radar, and then back to Vermont where it is snow in the mountains. And we've got a still red-tailed hawk up there. Who doesn't love a still red-tailed hawk? Come on, camera, you can do it. Focus. Please focus. Doing the rain, isn't it? So yeah, these hawks just sit motionless. So the air is moving 25, 30 miles an hour, and the hawk was stationary. Alright, it's gone. And I'm having a tough time ripping my camera right now. You can understand why. It's getting wet. It's getting cold. I just lost the white balance. I think the battery's dying. Fat raindrops. You'd think there'd be a snowflake mixed in here. I still have not witnessed my first snowflake in person. They're just about 200 or 300 feet up over our head. Well, probably top of Blue Hill might be a couple snowflakes. I don't think there's anyone there reporting it right now, though. Hey, Winthrop. All right, I'm going inside. I'm gonna try and charge the camera a little bit and come back out on the back side. Should have some really interesting lighting on the back side of this cumulonimbus. Very unstable day. Just can't stop. Just a bit of upper level energy coming through right now. Right. I was outside, but I was getting soaked and the tripod wanted to blow over, so snowflakes don't run down the window. They make slush cat paw prints, so snow level's probably up just a couple of 100 feet over our house, or maybe just above Blue Hill. That plane just took off steep and took a hard left away from the center of this shower. So I don't think we're gonna get a backlit. There's some backlit right there, but let's just close it out on the front side of these showers as they're coming at us from the west over there. And we won't be able to see the sun again today, I don't think. So let's just play it out with another time lapse. It's wonderful, undulating cumulus. don't usually get undulating cumulus. Usually they're undulating stratocumulus. These are cumulonimbus. Usually these things are diurnal and go away at night. Diurnal meaning one kind of weather by day, another by night. As we fall into the night here, not knowing where tomorrow is going to bring us. Sometimes the best plan is no plan. Winter is here. Rained again. The two boats that started the day right.